Hey guys, it's Jeremy here, Metal Music Meltdown, back with another video. What we're having today, guys, is another album review. This time we'll be checking out a debut album from a death metal band based out of Norway. They're called Vomitizer, and the album is called Release the Rats. It's coming out on April 25th, 2025, through the label Undercover Records. It's about 35 minutes in length, give or take. It's got 10 tracks in total. They're like an old school death metal sound, but like I said, this is their debut album. It's a concept album as well. Just to read what it says here. A concept album telling the apocalyptic story about how the world rots through fanatics, pestilence, and pure evil of mankind. So yeah, you can definitely hear the story going through the song and the different kind of sections and what's going on. So it's pretty cool. And guys, like before I get into reviewing the songs and stuff, this album is amazing. Easily the best death metal album I've heard all year, and a top three album of this year so far, easily. It just kicked my ass. It's amazing. It's a good blend of like old school raw death metal in your face with high intensity, and then it's also got a lot of songs that are like almost straight up doom metal. Like it's really more slow and dirgy, and those like really slow kind of heavy doomy riffs. And then there's all the other songs that have a really groove laden, where they're just like have this infection groove underneath of the intensity and the brutality that really kind of push the song along. There's even a couple of riffs that are like kind of sludge and stoner kind of metal, kind of like that dense heaviness. I fucking love this album. The opening track, Wonderful World to Destroy. You can actually listen to that on YouTube. They've released that as a single. Great song to open up the album. Really high intense, old school death metal, raw, brutal, high intensity, blast beats, big riffs. The guy's vocals suit the music perfectly. Really good way to open up the album. And then Rat Religion number 2 is more of a kind of a groove laden song. It's heavy in brutality, but it's still underneath all that. It's got this really infectious groove that kind of gets your head bobbing, and you get into that pocket. Really good track. The Church of Rats was a more slowed down kind of doomy kind of vibe. Definitely heavy on like the Black Sabbath style riffs and like old school doom metal, but still maintained kind of brutality and the vocals of death metal and again the grooves. That's one of my favorite songs on the album. It's so heavy and just dirgy and just like slow and doomy. I loved it. And then Riticalis. That song kind of gave me like Behemoth vibes for some reason. Kind of doomy riffs, but the overall vibe kind of reminded me of Behemoth for some reason. Really killer track though. I enjoyed that one as well. And then Pestilence went back to the more really raw old school death metal. Sorry, really intense, high intensity, shorter song but gets to the point. Pummels you in the head back and forth like a sledgehammer and then gets out. Really good track. Number 6, Indulge into Chaos. This one had a cool like kind of strumming power chord kind of feel riff at the beginning, and then the harsh kind of death metal vocals kick in, and it's a cool contrast of them layering on top of each other. Really enjoyed that song as well. And then The Reek of Death was another kind of more doomy, kind of more slow mid-paced kind of song. Really heavy and dense and still maintained the brutality and the intensity, but just slowed down and more like thick and like doomy. Love that song. And then Something Dark and Bloody Did Indeed. This one's kind of a blend of all the kind of flavors on the album. Kind of had some like death metal, some kind of doomy riffs, some groove mixed in. Nice song as well. The song Raw Meat was just another 2-minute pummel you in the face death metal song. Got in and out. Pretty cool groove on that one as well, underlining the rhythms. Really enjoyed that song. It's really short, but it really hits hard. And then perfect album closer, Wicked Supremacy. Might be my favorite song on the album. It was just super infectious on the middle part. Opening up the song, it had this kind of like almost like stoner sludge kind of riff. Like it was super dense and thick and like heavy. And then it kind of, in the middle part of the song, it broke down into this like crazy infectious groove. It didn't last long. I kind of wish it lasted a little bit longer, but it was just amazing. Really caught me off guard, but in the best way. And then later on in the song, it picks up in intensity and tempo and goes more into that old school death metal raw sound. Fucking loved it. Not a weak song on the album. The production's more dry and raw, but in my opinion, that's how it should be. It's not really bad, but it's still polished enough to sound good and heavy. But it's got that rawness you want, like that dirt under the fingernails kind of sound, like that intensity you want. The mix is really good. You can hear all the instruments really well. The vocals are well mixed in the mix as well. The guy's vocals sound really good. It's typical death metal growls, but you can definitely understand most of what he's saying. It's more distinguishable, like in terms of being able to understand. Yeah, it's just a killer album. They changed it up enough song to song to keep it fresh and interesting. 2 songs back to back never sound the same. Some songs are more, like I said, just 2 or 3 songs that are just straight up old school raw death metal. There's 3 or 4 songs that are like really groovy and groove laden and a mix of death metal. And then there's a few songs that are like that, like slowed down, mid pace kind of doom feel. Love this album. A ranking, easy 10 out of 10 for me. Top 3 albums of the year so far. I'd be very surprised if this doesn't make my year-end list. I'm so happy these guys reached out to me. I probably wouldn't have discovered this band otherwise. So let me go over to the YouTube guys and check out the first single, Wonderful World to Destroy, and let me know what you think. And like I said, it drops on the 25th of April. So watch out for that album, guys. Highly, highly recommend you pick it up. I definitely want to get a copy of this on CD for sure. And yeah, 10 out of 10, killer album. So thanks for watching, guys. Keep it metal.